Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Source of Information, the only show where you will get information regarding Medicare, Medicaid, food stamp, low income subsidies, and all the benefits that you could take advantage of while you enroll in Social Security. I have some information for you guys today that I think you will find that's extremely valuable. That's a good word, valuable. We're going to talk about spousal benefits. All this week we've been talking about spousal benefits, and usually when I start talking about a particular subject is because that someone has asked me a question throughout the week and motivate me to talk about that particular subject for the entire week. So this week is spousal benefit. We're going to get into what spousal benefits in a little bit, but I have to tell you that's one of my favorite benefits. The reason for because it's one of the benefits that you are sharing with someone, a spouse. Definition of spousal benefit is the spousal benefits can be as much as half of the worker's primary insurance amount, depending on the spouse age at retirement. If the spouse began receiving benefits before the normal or full retirement age, the spouse will receive a reduced benefit. Now, we talk about that. A lot of people, for example, this week I was getting a question about early retirement. I spoke with a gentleman. We had a long conversation the other day, and he used to live in New York and moved down here, and he's considering taking his benefits at the age of 62. It's not something now that we see that the numbers, so it's not something that I recommend. And anybody that's considering that, the first step that you should do is find out exactly how much you're getting. So for a spouse, we're going to go get back to our subject. Excuse me. For a spouse, for example, that's considering, should I take my spousal benefit at an early age, you will find that that amount will be reduced extremely. Because remember, you are getting 50% of the, let me quote it properly, you are getting 50% of the primary insurance amount. So which means that your spouse, if your spouse is making $1,000, you're going to get 50% of that, which is $500. Now, the fact that you are taking it at the age of 62 or before your full retirement age, then it's going to reduce to a certain percent. And we went over it. I saw an amount the other day when I was doing some research, was you could get at about 65 to 70% at the age of 62. So if you just do the math, if it's $1,000 and 50% of 1,000 is 500, and now you're going to get 72% of that 500, it comes down to about 300 and change. So it's not in your best interest to do it that way. However, if you're doing the math and your spouse is, I'm thinking, because there's something I just read here a few minutes ago that, and I'll go over that, where how you could take those benefits early. And as I'm going through information about the spousal benefits, we'll get into that also. So in terms of 62 years old, it's not ideal for you to take a spousal benefits at that age, because the amount is going to reduce even more than what you're receiving. And you cannot even consider getting SSI, because they're going to take your spouse, that providing that you guys are not living providing that you guys are living together. If you guys are not living together, then yes, you may have a chance of applying for SSI because you guys are separated. However, if you guys are not separated, they're going to take account of the husband or the wife that's the primary earner, um, their uh, their Social Security amount or their income in consideration. Excuse me. So 62, it's not the age to do it. Now, the percentage of husband in Social Security does. My apology. Um, let's find a way to silence this. My apology about that. I have my phone connected to too many technology. In any event, yes. Um, yeah, one of the questions that I got, what percentage of husband's Social Security does a spouse get? It reaches 50% that the spouse will be able to receive from the husband. Now, the next question, the best strategy for a married couple. And I was very, very, very impressed by the information that they have here. So, this is the first time that I am sharing this information, and I think it's worthy because it's about how married couples have the options that married couples have regarding Social Security benefits. Now, with just a little planning, you and your spouse can make the most of your Social Security benefits. One point they mention here, you could coordinate your benefits with your spouse benefits, can help you both get the most out of your Social Security payments. In some cases, it may make sense for both spouses to claim on the same spouse earning record. So, in other words, I guess they're going to find a way to merge the two benefits that's coming in. So now there's more in terms of in terms of contribution. There's more contribution available. So now you're going to be drawing from two income contribution combined, so you could get the most out of their Social Security. So many couples use a split strategy, they call it, which means they begin claiming at the different ages. It might be worthwhile for the higher earning to wait longer to collect. So, and the reason for that, remember, the higher income, the higher income individual, when they wait, as they continue to work, every year is increased by 6%. Now, in some cases, it's even more because now it's the percentage get higher based on the amount that you're contributing, and because I saw some numbers that came out to about 6.5%, as opposed to 6% every year that you you delay taking your benefit. Your first step at maximize your Social Security benefits should be to visit Social Security Administration Bureau and start that conversation with them in terms of coordinate with your spouse, do what they call a split strategy. So first step is to go to Social Security Administration Bureau and have a sit down and talk with them about doing a split strategy, which means that they begin claiming at a different age. Okay, so at some point, and that's where the spousal benefits will come in. We're going to get into that. Um, the SSA website provides an estimate for how much you'll collect if you start receiving benefit at the age of 62 or full retirement age, or anywhere between 66 and 67. Now, age 70, we won't get into that because I think the vast majority of people will not consider waiting till the age of 70 to collect Social Security. So we won't get into that. But one thing I could tell you, the numbers are extremely higher. I saw it was up to 124% if you wait till the age of if you wait till the age of 70. Now, if now you could compare the estimate for you and your spouse and pay special attention to difference between your estimate. The higher the earner is the spouse with the larger primary insurance amount. When you decided who will collect first and who should wait, consider having the lower earner collect first and having the higher earner wait over time. The higher earner's increase will be worth more than the lower earner's increase. Of course, and is the strategy behind it because if you're making I use a number about $200,000, the percentage of that's coming out of that $200,000 is going to be higher than the lower income individual. So there's more there in that pool to pay for, so that both of you both the couple will eventually get a higher income from Social Security. So it suggested the higher earner wait, allow the lower earner take the start receiving benefits first, and allow the higher earner's increase will be worth more than the lower earner's increase. And if one spouse estimate are more than twice as high as the other, it might make sense for both of you eventually to collect on the same spouse earning record. So this is where the same spouse earning record come into effect. In that situation, the spouse with the lower benefits can claim first based on his or her own earning record and apply for spousal benefits later when the spouse with the higher benefits start collecting. Hold up. Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. See, the spouse with the lower benefits can claim first based on his or her own earning record. So to break it down a bit, if for example, let's take the same calculation, 1,500. So if the spouse with the 500, you know what? Let's base it. Let's use a different figure. The lower income spouse is making is probably going to bring $800, for example. What they're saying there, it makes sense to take the 800, and then later on, as the higher income, higher earner, the higher earners increase, the spousal benefits amount will be higher. Because at the later date, you could go back and say, I am going to collect the spousal benefit, and then they will no longer continue giving you your spousal, the benefits based on your own earning records. Okay? So that was very, I found that very interesting. It's something that, yes, we had knowledge of it, but when they explain it in this term, and also I felt that it was necessary to something that we need to discuss today. And we are definitely going to continue discussing it. One of the things also, it says the longer the spouse with the high benefits want to start collecting, the higher the benefits will be for both spouses. Delaying the higher earning spouse benefit could also eventually increase the other spouse survival benefits. Now, see, we also getting into survival benefits, and let me explain on what that last paragraph is basically saying. The higher income individual, as they continue to work, they continue to their earning records continue to increase. Remember, it's going to be based on the last 35 years of your work, so they could determine what your monthly Social Security income is going to be. Now you have to take into consideration, if you're a higher earning individual, your spouse. Your spouse is basically you working for two people, because now your spouse have the opportunity to take spousal benefits, and the spousal benefits is while I guess both of you guys are alive and you're receiving benefits. They could start receiving spousal benefits, but later on, when you pass, then the spouse could stop the spousal benefits and say, I'm going to take the survival benefits. And the reason you would go with survival benefits is because spousal benefits is 50%, but survival benefits is 100% of the let me put on my glasses and quote the right person. The primary insurance amount. So the primary insurance amount gets larger. So you're going to be collecting from that, if that makes any sense to you guys. The higher earner and the spouse, basically, if that person is the one that to go first, you'll be collecting survival benefits from that person, which is 100%. So that was very quick, and we're going to go. There's some factors that could reduce your payments. The number one factor is taking your working while you're collecting Social Security may temporarily reduce your benefits. Two, you may pay federal and state tax on your payment. Your Medicare premium may be deducted from your payments. Well, that we know. A government pension could decrease your benefits. That's something we'll get into later. I don't see how it will decrease your benefits yet, but I'm going to read more into it. In terms of the only way I could see any pension will decrease your benefits is if you're receiving your payments, that also when you're taking into consideration whether to apply for low-income subsidies or Medicaid or food stamp, those programs are what you call income-based programs. So they're going to have to see those that information to determine if you're eligible. Now, if you not eligible because you're receiving a pension, a higher amount of pension, and a higher amount of Social Security, then what's going to happen is that you're not going to be eligible for Medicaid. So the premium for the Part B is going to come out of your Social Security amount. So the state will not pay for it. And certain benefits, for example, probably your prescription drug, you may have a copayment for that. Going to see a specialist, you may have a copayment for that. So that's the area I could foresee that your benefit will decrease. All right. We're going to take a break. Before we take a break, let me remind you, this Saturday, for those of you who was not aware, you are being invited to the inauguration of CARMAX Medical Center's new location. It is indeed a state-of-the-art facility, and we invite every single one of you this Saturday from noon to 3. Noon to 3. If you don't have transportation, you could call Cynthia and 305-748-6211, 305-748-6211, or you could call her directly on her phone. Is the phone number. I want to make sure that I have the area code. The phone number, I believe, is 786 799. Let me get that number for you. 786 799 2022. 786 799 2022. If you need transportation, call her and she will schedule transportation to pick you up on that day to bring you to the center. We're going to have music. We're going to have gifts. We're going to have food, drinks, and we're going to have a good old time. Um, Let me take the opportunity to thank a particular individual. Hopefully, she might be there. We're talking about Fidelia, and thank her for her job, the job that she has done. Fidelia is a person that I could tell you every time I call her for anything they have to do with the clinic, and sometimes she called me real late. I remember one time I was at dinner. I was in a dinner with some friends from New York, and it was about 8, 9 o'clock. There's a patient that was somewhere and needed a ride to get home, and so we coordinate. We were able to send an Uber for her. So this is the type of person that she is. The work that she's done, and she will be missed. She will be missed. All right, we're going to take a break. When we return, we're going to come back with more information on spousal benefits, and the line will be open for those of you who have questions regarding that. So today I'm at studio live. You could call at 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. We'll be right back with more information regarding spousal benefits, regarding survival benefits. So we'll see you in a little while.
Chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. Hey, all I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, for I know who I am. I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm working in power, I work in miracles, I live a life of favor.
Okay, I am back. Let me say thank you to friends that's always somewhere nearby and pulling my ears and said, hey, you're not smiling. We want more smiling from you. Thank you. I love you. Okay, let's get back to it's good to have friends like that because they keep you on your toes and making sure you're doing a good job. So that I appreciate. And so thank you. We're going to continue with the spousal benefits. Now, normally in every rules that they make, there's also loopholes. Let's talk about certain loopholes that there is when it comes down to Social Security. And we're talking about spousal benefits now. you can still receive benefits on your ex-spouse records if your marriage lasts for 10 years. So 10 years plus you could receive benefits from your spouse. However, if you remarried, you cannot receive benefits from your ex-spouse. Okay? But it's 10 years of marriage, and at least ex-spouse is at least 62 years old. Unmarried, 62 years and unmarried, entitled to receive more than you are from Social Security and qualified for retirement or disability benefits. So that's one of the great things about spousal benefits. One of the great things about spousal benefit is that the mere fact that you could receive benefits from a spouse even when you're no longer married. And just the same, you could apply for disability benefits, as they mention it here, based on the working earning of your spouse. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Let me hear from you what you think. There's a question about, can my wife switch Social Security benefits to spousal benefits? And the answer to that is yes, because if the amount of your spouse is receiving, if the amount she's receiving, they will most likely give her the higher amount. For example, if the amount that she's earning on her own record is higher, then they won't give her the spousal benefits. Now, is there a way that she could start with the spousal benefits and later on switch? Yes, that can be done. And the way that works is she could file at Social Security at age 62 and switch to spousal benefits later, only if your spouse is not yet receiving retirement benefits. In this case, you can claim your own Social Security beginning at age 62 and make the switch to spousal benefits when your husband or wife files. So in order for you to claim the spousal benefits, the spouse that you're getting the benefits from have to be collecting Social Security benefits. I've gotten that question many a time where a spouse is still working, not the age of retirement, and people call and want to know if they could receive benefits based from that spouse. If that spouse is not collecting retirement benefits, no, you cannot collect from them. They have to file for retirement. Then, based on the amount they receive, then Social Security will determine how much you will be getting based on the 50% of that percentage. Now, survival benefits is totally different. Okay, we're going to get into survival benefits in a little while. So we're talking about spousal benefits is 50% that you're going to receive. And there's a question is, can a wife draw a husband Social Security while he is alive? Yes, he could draw Social Security while he is alive. And on a spouse earning record. Again, the spouse have to be, first of all, had to work and contribute into Social Security, and that's why they're talking about earning record. And based on that earning record, that's what they're going to determine. That's what they're going to use to determine how much money that you will get on a monthly basis in terms of spousal benefit. And the spousal benefits could last for life. Until the benefits are for life, a surviving spouse who has disability can collect benefit as early as 50. Surviving spouse who has a disability can collect benefit as early as 50. The benefit begin upon the death of the retiree and continue until the surviving spouse is age 65. continue until the surviving spouse is age 65. So um, the benefits are there for you, and you could start collecting on them. Again, the number to call right now, 305-945-1580, 945-1580. The information that we're providing to you today, I'm very impressed. In terms of spousal benefits, I always get a hype when I talk about spousal benefits because, again, this is the only benefits that you could share with a loved one. So the spousal benefits is the only benefits. Well, survival benefits is another benefits that's there. We're going to get into survival benefits a little bit because those two benefits basically mirror each other. The difference between the two is the percentage. The spousal benefit, you're getting 50% of the earning. Earning the spouse the spouse who worked. Let me put it more simple. The spouse who worked and have an earning record in Social Security. There you go. But the survivor benefits, again, the earning spouse who worked, you will get 100%. The surviving spouse will get 100% of that earning. So I don't know if that makes sense for you guys. Now, and one question we have here, do married couples get two Social Security checks? No, you don't get two Social Security checks. If you married and you and your spouse have worked and earned enough credits individually, you will each get your own Social Security benefits. Okay? So there's no splitting it. You can't, basically, it's, yes, each of you guys will get money based on your own earning record. Now, what is the 10-year rule, which most people talk about? If you work and pay Social Security taxes for 10 years or more, you'll get a monthly benefit based on that work. So remember, for you to be eligible for any benefits, you have had to work and earn 40 quarters. So each year that you work, you've earned 4 quarters. So that's where it would come within 10 years, you would have earned 40 quarters that's required for you to retire or for you to collect Social Security any Social Security benefits. However, when you take into consideration an individual who worked 2 jobs, and I've run into a lot of guys like that, especially those guys that's working in the restaurant business. You would find an individual that start at doing breakfast at 7 in the morning, and that individual finish at 2. And then 2, they'll come home and change, and 3 to 11, they start another job. So that individual will be able to reach the 40 quarters in 5 years because they have 2 incomes that's coming in, and each of those income, they take in Social Security benefits from it, they take in Medicare from it, and you will see that those individuals, and I know a particular individual, he was, maybe 5-6 years now, that he probably stopped working, not even stopped working, reduced on the hours. Instead of doing 2 restaurants, he went back to working for 1 restaurant. So his income that he's receiving from Social Security is much more, it's higher than the average income that's coming out of Social Security. Like right now, the average income is $3,850 for those individuals that's receiving Social Security. We talk a lot about the baby boomers. The baby boomers especially baby boomers that started working at the age of 16. So at the age of 16, they start collecting Social Security from you. They start collecting Medicare from you. So obviously, your income over time, as your career change, your income will increase, and your contribution will be higher, and you'll definitely, by the time you get if you start working at 16, you're looking at working for 50 years or 51 years, because at that stage, your full retirement age will be 67. So, yes, let's talk on the rest of the time. Let's talk a little bit about survival benefits. What is survival benefits? A way to describe survival benefits is when, if we take the same definition of spousal benefits, it's basically the same in a different way. It's when a spouse who has work, which is the primary insurance amount, and that spouse had died, passed away. Then, whether it's if there's children that's left behind and wife, then the wife and the children can collect an amount every month based on the earning record of that individual, and the spouse will receive 100% of that amount for life. And it's one benefits that is not retroactive. What I mean by that is you cannot go back. Let's say, for example, that individual passed away in June, and here we are in December. You cannot go back and say, well, I did not know, or I came to collect spousal benefits, so therefore, yes, my husband died, or my wife passed away in June, so I'm expecting money from June up until now, whatever money that's back that I didn't collect. It doesn't work that way. It's not retroactive. So they will start from the time that you came to make the claim. So when you come to make the claim, then your survivor benefits will come into effect. 305 945 1580 305 945 1580. Let me hear you. Call right now with your questions regarding survivor benefits. So we're going to talk about survivor benefits in details now. Now, Social Security it's a benefit that's paid to widows or widower and dependent of eligible workers. This benefit is particularly important for young people, because after you lose a parent, and especially if they were the main source of income, then there's a big void in the house. So having that information, which now you could go to the Social Security, and you could only go to the Social Security and file. Then having that information, go to the Social Security. That's an income that was not that had disappeared, or you thought it was disappeared. Now all of a sudden there's an ability for you to get some money on a monthly basis to cover the expenses. A surviving spouse, surviving divorced spouse, unmarried child, or dependent parent may be eligible for a monthly survival benefit based on the deceased worker's earning. In addition, a one-time lump sum, the one-time lump sum death payment, I don't even talk about it. The reason for you getting $255 only once, and that's it. And that can be made to a qualified spouse or child if they meet certain requirement. Okay. When a husband died, does the wife get his Social Security? Yes. Okay. That's the whole notion of the spousal benefit. The example of the benefit that survivor may receive: surviving spouse for retirement age or older receive 100% of the deceased worker's benefits. Surviving spouse age 60 through full retirement receives 71 to 99% of the deceased worker's basic amount. Um, here's the thing, though. Well, we're going to go with what they're saying here, but remember, it's 100% of the deceased. Now they're going to prorate it based on whether you're at full retirement age or not. And you will receive survivor benefits for life, for the remainder of your life. There's no restriction applied for divorced spouses eligible to. They're eligible to receive the benefits also. Now, the difference between survivor benefits and widow benefits, while spousal benefits are capped at 50% of the worker's benefits, survivor benefits are the full 100% of the deceased worker's benefit. So you're getting the full amount, 100%. Let's make that clear. And you could never collect both. Yes, if you qualify for your own retirement, and your spouse benefit, they will always pay you on your own benefits first. If whichever amount that's higher, they will switch it to that. But they'll never pay you both. You will never receive your Social Security based on your own earning and then receiving survival benefits at the same time. So that does not work. It does not work that way, and for obvious reason, because then you will be getting quite a few money. And there's certain things that disqualify you from survivor benefits. If you usually you can get widow's benefit or widower benefits if you remarried before the age of 60. Now, 50 if you have a disability, but remarriage after age 60 and age 50 if you have disability won't prevent you from getting benefits payment based on your former spouse worker. So if you're receiving those benefits, the survival benefits before you remarried, then it will continue. What if you didn't claim for survival benefits or spousal benefits, and you remarried, then you won't be able to claim it. So hopefully that's clear for you guys. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. And I keep repeating that. Hopefully that's clear for you guys. I want to make sure that you have that information, because those two benefits are very important, especially for you now who's depending on additional income from a spouse. Then having that information and execute that information make a whole lot of difference. So call now at 305-945-1580. Don't wait at the last second. A lot of people tend to wait at the last second to call, and then I don't have much time to answer your question, and I'm rushing while other people are calling at the same time. So call now, 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Now, I'll repeat this. There's a question that I get often that Social Security is giving out a bonus of $16,000. That don't exist. It don't exist. Don't fall for the trap. And another thing, you have to be very careful, especially once you reach the retirement age. You'll be getting a lot of letters. They will send you stuff in the mail, and that's going to make your head turn. So you have to be mindful of not sharing your Social Security number with anyone. You have to be mindful that not sharing your date of birth with anyone. If somebody call you on the phone, ask you for your Medicare number, no, don't share your Medicare number with them. I saw a client yesterday, and she still have the old card. If you have the old card, if you look at your old Medicare card, the number that's on there, it's your social security number with a letter at the end of it. So anybody who have any knowledge about that, if this is what you present in front of them, and their intention is to cause you harm, then you just gave them the tools to do so. The new numbers that comes out a couple of years ago, it has letters, it has numbers. So the only person, if if they just came across that those numbers and letters without your name attaching anywhere on that piece of paper, the only person after putting that information in will know who it belongs to is the Medicare and Social Security. So that's why I urge you that if you have a card, a Medicare card, and when you look in front of it, it's your Social Security number that's in front of it, take that card, put it in a safe place, and don't walk with it. Because if you were to lose it, then if the person that found it has any bad intention, I guarantee you that they will open an account on your name. They will probably purchase a car in your name. And if they're able, will purchase a house under your name. And if they stop, there's so many things that could happen. So I urge you, those cards, try not to walk with them. Leave them at home. Even the regular, the new card, leave it at home, because the card that you're going to need when you go out is your Medicare Advantage card. And if you, God forbid that while you're in the street you fell and ambulance have to come and pick you up, well, all they need is your Social Security number, and that will tell them what is your primary insurance, what is your secondary insurance, if you have Medicaid, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, and it will give them a detail of all your coverage, and they'll know who to send the bill to. And you won't see one bill that coming to you, because the Medicare Advantage plan is what's going to take care of those bills for you. Okay, so that's a side note, and I thought that it's worthy to mention it. Now, do you have to claim survival benefits on your taxes? The answer to that is no. Absolutely no. You'll have to pay taxes on your benefits if you file a federal tax return as an individual or total income is more than $25,000. If you file joint, if you're working, that's the only time that you would have to file, report your survival benefits. Other than that, there's no need for you to include your or file taxes. If you're not working, you're receiving survival benefits. No, remember that was also paid with after-tax dollars. So there's no reason why you guys should be asking the IRS to take 10% of your earning to pay for taxes. You spend most of your life paying taxes, so therefore it defeats the purpose to now go back and ask IRS to collect taxes from you. And even if down the line you decided, well, you don't want to, you want to rescind that action, then it's going to take time for them to do that. So instead of get yourself in this quagmire, it's not even worthy to do it. So, but if you're working, then that's something else. That's something different. We'll have a conversation like that in future shows. So just wanted to, um, as one of the questions came on, just wanted to cover that. Now, if you elect the 100% survivor option, upon your death, your survivor will receive the same monthly benefit you receive. What does 100% survivor benefits mean? 100%. So, upon your death, your survivor will receive the same monthly benefit you receive. That's what the 100% is. I do think that, and that's one point on this matter. It's very important for you guys to open. Go on. If you go on the website, you could open an account, my account. You gotta have an email, and you go through the steps. You could open an account. That will tell you exactly how much you will be receiving at the age of 62, at the age of 65, at the age of 67. Most of the baby boomers, from the age of 60 and up, your full retirement age is 67. So on that my account, it will tell you that. And very good point, because you could elect for your spouse to receive 100% of survivor benefit based on that option. You could do that and make sure that when that happens, that they're not going back and forth and trying to collect a certain amount. It's already there. It's already on records that your spouse should receive 100% of the survivor benefits. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Don't forget this Saturday, from 12 to 3 at Camex Medical Center of Broward, located at 4300 West Broward Boulevard in Plantation, Florida. The zip code is 33317. We will be celebrating the inauguration of the center, and we invite you. You could call at 305-748-6211, 305-748-6211. If you need transportation will be provided for you, or call Cynthia at 786-799, 786-799-2209. Let me get that from you. 786-799-2022, 786-799-2022, and ask her to schedule transportation so you could come in for the inauguration. Bring a friend. Let them know when you call. Let them know how many people that you bring in. If you want to bring their entire family, especially if they're over the age of 65, do so. It was a pleasure for me to be here with you guys today. I love you guys. So see you soon. Bye-bye.
We are a chosen generation. We've been called to show His excellence. Hey, all I require for life.
This is